Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Commentary as Magic Stream on today's Sunday, May 19th, 2024. I am, as always, Grand Paws.
Big Teeth.
Arcat and
Ivory Starlight.
And following up on the stream we had from last week, we're going to finally get into some crunchy stuff. Sort of. Not really. It's not that crunchy.
Not enough numbers.
More number? I mean, I don't technically see that many fours just free-floating in the card art, so...
That was a reference.
don't give me ideas.
You've had that idea. You already snuck numbers free-floating into card art for all the playtesting proxies.
Those are not snuck in there. Those are there very deliberately, so I can make sure I don't mess up which background goes with which card.
Ah, so you know exactly what you're doing.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. We talked about a lot last time.
Now, that being said, if you catch me putting that not in the placeholder layer, which I've done and wasted a bunch of time in the past. Anyway.
Sure. At that point, I'll get the rolled up newspaper or the water bottle in the...
No. Don't. It says it!
Bad cat. Bad art cat. Anyway. We talked about a lot last time. We talked about this new set that we're working on, which still does not have a finalized name, although it probably does, but we're not announcing that on this stream, I don't think.
I don't know, are we?
I don't know.
I think it's set at this point, so you want to do the honors?
No, go ahead.
So, it ended up being New Generation. Just makes too much sense.
Yep.
We appreciate everyone's feedback and perspectives on that. Thank you for submitting your ideas or thoughts.
So welcome to Generations block.
Yep. So we talked about New Generation. We talked about the fact that it's going to trigger a core format rotation. We talked about the Magic Restored keyword. We talked about what sort of cards you might expect to see. And then we just kind of left it at that with a few spoilers hanging out there, just for fun. There's a lot to be implied, or a lot to be considered from just that little bit of information, though. Starting with the, hey, it's a core rotation. Now, we will have a stream here soon-ish that will likely deal with what the true implications of core rotating are. We're not going to go into super fine detail on that for this stream, but what we do kind of want to touch on is if players are looking forward to a particular style of play or a particular deck, what is it that they can expect to see as far as support for that playstyle or that deck in New Generations? Sorry, New Generations singular.
Well, what kind of playstyles are we talking about here?
Well, there have generally been 5 accepted playstyles of decks, one of which I fought against for years, and then came to realize that no, it's probably actually a thing. We've got aggro players, sound off if you like going fast and ending the game on turn 4.
I hate those kind of decks.
Look, we don't need that kind of self-loathing here, Ivory. We've got mid-range, which controls an opponent's early game, generally speaking, and then starts applying more and more aggressive pressure. Or vice versa. We've got control, where fun is a zero-sum game and you intend on having 100% of it. Am I wrong, Cheese?
No. I mean, that
Okay.
is Control's goal.
Sure. We have Farm, where playing the game in a traditional way is for suckers, and troublemakers are love, troublemakers are life. And then we've got, like, the combo, or the wacky build around, where playing the game in a traditional way is for suckers, and sometimes troublemakers are love, troublemakers are life.
Only if they're resetting your deck.
Each of these decks, or each of these styles of play, have decks that have existed in core for several years now, minimum. And we can probably think of several off the top of our head. We'll go into those in a little bit more detail, either on a future stream or as we're talking about these archetypes here. What we want to...
Yeah, I
Go
was
ahead.
about to say, some of those have lineages beyond current core.
True. What we want to do now is to provide just a little bit of a preview of a few of the cards, and maybe a few of the colors that you might expect these strategies to revolve around, with new cards coming in New Generation. So we want to let's start with the fast ones first.
You're implying that there's more spoilers?
I am implying that there could be some number of spoilers in this stream.
Oh, I thought we were just going to be talking vaguely the whole time.
I mean,
But
we
yeah,
can't.
there's some aggro cards.
So there's a card that
Some
does this,
control
maybe.
cards.
We
I
could
don't
sit
know.
here. We could sit here and just never bring up the slide deck. That is completely possible.
I just deleted it. It doesn't exist anymore.
Beautiful.
Joke's on you. The slideshow's already started. Even if you delete it, it still works.
Dang.
I just deleted the comprehensive rules and Ponyhead. They don't exist anymore.
Well, time to wrap it up.
Yep. All right.
Rewrite the rules from memory.
Yep. Make them atomic this time.
What, the rules might actually be... Now, it's going to take like 4 years for like 5 different people to fully rewrite them in a provably correct... oh, there we go. Yes, Bugle's just going to rewrite the rules in Gnomic.
Surely
Perfect.
nothing could go wrong.
Anyway, we're talking about fast.
We're talking about fast. We're talking about yellow.
Yellow has always been fast.
This is the first yellow card that I think we've had the chance to spoil from New Generation, and it's a doozy. It also doesn't necessarily look like an aggro card just on the surface. But maybe we want one of our resident aggro players to walk us through this one.
Is it supposed to be up on the stream?
Yes.
And it is.
I don't see it.
It's because you're not an aggro player. You don't go fast enough.
Clearly. This is so
Anyway.
weird. Twitch like says I'm live.
Anyway, this is Hitch Trailblazer Bunny Cop. Home limit of 3. When you challenge a troublemaker at this card's problem or confront this card's problem, if you have a critter friend here, turn this card over. And we have a boosted side home limit of 5. At the start of a face-off or at the start of the score phase, you may exhaust this card to choose an opposing friend or troublemaker. Until the end of the turn, that friend or troublemaker has -1 power for each of your critter characters.
This is the first instance in the game where we have had the phrase critter characters.
Instead of critter tokens.
Instead of critter friends.
Oh, sure. Or tokens.
Or tokens.
Because this main has a set symbol, or a trait symbol on it, that I don't think we've seen.
Have we never had a critter main before?
I don't think so.
We have never had a critter main before. We have had so many mains that like critters, And this one also likes critters.
Someday I'm going to get to use the zero symbol on the main.
Someday. Alright. This is a bit weird. It's not a traditional go wide yellow aggro main in that by having lots of critters, you get a bunch of aggro power. The best thing you can claim about this is that by having lots of critters, you're likely to be able to beat a troublemaker. That's still pretty good. We're seeing a rotation of a number of yellow dilemmas, and cards like Friends Are Always There and Fluttershy Pony Pirate, which can allow you to bypass troublemakers, ignoring them as though they weren't there. With those options being reduced, you may be forced into challenging troublemakers more frequently than before. There might also be a design philosophy shift in that. Shh.
Forced in giant quotes.
Yes.
You know what, though? You know what Hitch is really good against? You know, it also doesn't matter because he's gone.
The bug.
That's
The
right.
big. Hitch is in fact not that good against the bug. He specifically cannot target main characters.
Why not?
Because
Do
then
you
he'd be
want
too
to?
good against the bug.
Right.
I mean, not just Thorax. Do you want your main to be at 0 power?
I believe that
I
you
want my
made.
opponent's main to be at 0.
I'm
No.
sure you do. We'll cover control in a moment. We're not there yet. But
I'm
to
sad.
avoid this reaching the level of disruption on a main that I think you were the one who drew analogs to. This is going to create feels bad like Party Cannoneer. Like Party Cannoneer couldn't target your main either, but it was very, very disruptive.
Well,
making this
that was a
not
mistake.
target your main.
We should have reprinted having a blast to also hit main characters. It would have been great.
I mean, that would have been a thing. I don't think main characters have a cost. That would have been awkward. Anyway, Hitch is capable of not only breaking through troublemaker walls, or rather allowing your small little critters to break through troublemaker walls, but can also play some pretty severe games of face-off chicken. And given that a lot of Yellow's point acceleration right now is built around confronting and not necessarily built around gaining extra value from face-offs, being able to play face-off chicken with a yellow main can actually make it pretty AT efficient. Your characters will just stay there at a problem because you're confronting with your main and now you're not. Also, this is the card that I am single-handedly most excited about the flavor on, and I will not apologize.
I'm not going to apologize for the pun. Deal with it.
Okay, Aura, I believe you said you'd like to steal all the things and then retire all the things. You want to take the next one here?
No, I believe that's what Bugle said. Anyway, Lily, Bright Future, 1 cost, 1 power. Earth Pony, retire a friend to give this card +2 power until the end of the turn. At main phase. So not as good as Soren, but...
But also, oh, Soren did get 2, and was also dual color, and not entry. So it's kind of like Soren if Soren was just pink. The blue made Soren go fast.
Don't worry about how she's only standing on 3 legs and is horribly imbalanced here.
Why did you say that? Now that's all I can think about. So we've got another card that likes going wide. Or, if not going wide, at least makes having additional bodies in areas where you don't necessarily need them, not just deadweight. That friend at home that you played for an ETB effect a turn ago, that you're never going to move back to a problem again, well, Lily can become a 183 power character for a turn. That's pretty good. Lily can also get you pretty deep into pink for rec, assuming that you have a card in another color that you're willing to access. Or another Lily. Lily is also capable of turning into an Ouroboros and just eating herself if you need to.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I am waiting to see what realization has struck Bugle here in the chat.
Probably the Lily.
This is the second entry friend named Lily who eats other ponies. Yes, thank you. And this was the reason why we went with Lily. For flavor. I'm not even... Yes, that was intentional. It's a different Lily. They all do the same thing. Eat stuff, get big. How else could Lily be useful? Obviously, steal and retire. Again, with the potential face-off chicken games. I mean, it is interesting to see a card that not only has the utility of being able to retire like this, but also can serve as, like, aggressive power. So. Alright. And then we've got a multicolor one over here.
I don't know. I'm looking at Lily and going, I see you getting up to entry things here, like turn Lily a different color and then make her big. Yeah, as Pancake says, that's a nice way to get Unity 15.
That is a nice way to get Unity 15. I actually, despite having played with Rushed Makeover for literally years now at this point in time, hadn't considered being able to Rushed Makeover Lily to get huge entry into a different color instead.
Yeah, for 180.
I think there's kind of a similar argument with Field Twirler, was it?
Oh, Sweetie Belle Field Twirler? Yeah, that's true. She was also able to do that.
Oops, accidentally some new tech. Oh well.
That's some spicy options there. I can dig it.
Anyway, multicolor.
Go ahead.
This one over here. He's Thunderflap. He's a green guard. Who is green?
He's blue and purple. He's not green. We're not releasing green as another color until we've released red as another color first.
2 power, 1 cost, 3 rec. Same numbers as usual. Pegasus immediate, discard a card to give this card +1 power and eccentric 1 until the end of the turn. You may move this card at the end of the turn, frighten this card.
So he does a lot and then runs and hides.
I mean, yes, he's the new guard. He talks to prisoners.
That would scare anyone.
He has a sneaker collection.
This is pretty efficient when it comes to a single aggro friend. For this card plus one other card of any type, you can get 2 power at one problem and 3 power at another problem. And you can potentially keep going by spending more cards. 4 power at the next problem, 5 power at the next problem, keep going. Yeah, you'll ditch your whole hand in the process, and if your opponent has immediate disruption, you're going to be sad, but I mean, belly flop doesn't exist anymore, so, like, what are the odds that immediate disruption even exists?
Am I allowed to answer that?
I remember what the next slide is. Oops. That being said, you got some good synergy here with Daybreaker from either New Dawn or Fond Memories. Must be Fond Memories, right? When you discard a card for the first time each turn, gain 1 AT.
I mean, this also synergizes very well if you can also splash into pink. Or really, if you're in pink and splash into this.
How do you figure?
Look at all this card draw.
Ah, that is a fair point. If you've got Unity 7 and you discard an I know this one, well, you've discarded basically nothing. It also gives an actual decent option for a card like Royal Scorn. It can let you put Angel Wings directly into play. Not the good Angel Wings, the other Angel Wings.
Not the good Angel Wings. Ouch.
What do you want from me? Good Angel Wings is going bye-bye.
A pony.
She's had her time. Yep, splash deep into orange to stop the Frighten altogether. Yep, that's another option too. There's a number of different aggro strategies that can be done in a number of different colors. And we hope that people have some fun experimenting with these, and hopefully a few of these cards and some of the others are going to give some deck concepts that people have tried to make work a little bit of breath of fresh air. Or breath of life, I think is what I was going for. Anyway.
Okay, so enough about this like one archetype that no one wants to play. Let's talk about a fun archetype.
Ignore the most common archetype.
Yep. Doesn't matter. Most common archetype is so last year. We need
what? What do we need?
A pony.
A pony? Okay, here's some ponies.
That is a lot of Izzy.
That's good.
I don't remember if there's an Izzy that gets cut off in that last one. I'm going to assume there is.
Sure, why not?
We'll just superimpose Izzy into the sky in the fourth card.
She's just floating.
There's a lot to take in from these cards. Ara, do you want to start with Best Pwn?
Best Pwn is not featured on this slide.
All right. I'm gonna tell her you said that, and then Izzy's gonna be sad. You made Izzy sad.
That's fine.
How could you?
All right, Izzy Moonbow, Perky Unicycler, is a pink unicorn main with home limit 3 on the start side. Main phase, while there are at least 3 cards in a player's discard pile, turn this card over. Boosted side, 3 power, home limit 4. Main phase, exhaust this card to put a friend or resource from your discard pile on top of your deck, then shuffle the top 5 cards of your deck. While this card is exhausted, your friends here have +1 power. It is so good that Belly Flop is not going to be legal in core. It would be so frustrating to be dealing with that. With a card that says, man, that ETB friend I had, it would be really nice to get more use out of them, but I'm not playing purple, I can't play portal effects. I'll just retire them and then put them back and draw them in one of my next 5 cards. And also
get rid of one of your friends in the process.
Right, and get rid of one of your friends in the process and make my other friends stronger. Izzy is crazy value. She will be able to sustain a player deep into the late game, provided that you are including enough friends and enough method and resources and methods of getting those friends or resources into your discard pile. You can do it just by discarding them. You can do it by retiring them once they're already in play. You can do it by self-milling yourself. There's a lot of different ways you can do it.
Okay, now I'm thinking of evil things if you end up emptying your draw deck and you're just like,
I would like that card. I would like that card. Oh, let me shuffle the top 5 cards. Good thing there's only 2 of them.
Shame.
It would be a shame if the only card in my deck had a really powerful chaos effect. Yeah, right, it's fine. Yes, it is almost impossible, not entirely impossible, but almost impossible to get Izzy to run out of possibilities. She can make just about anything work. And like some other cards we've seen in the past, being able to play with an artificially inflated hand by having cards in another zone that you can play as though they were in your hand is very good. Izzy doesn't quite do that. But once per turn, being able to look at the most valuable friend or resource in your discard pile and say, I think I'd like that back soon. That is pretty strong. Can she make socks work with sandals?
Yes.
I don't know if I've seen a pony in sandals, but I've seen ponies in socks, and I think that works. So I'm going to call it a win.
I've seen ponies in sandals. Looks kind of weird.
Emma. She's not card advantage, so not quite DJ says C Pancake. Correct, you're not drawing. You're just shuffling, and you don't necessarily have a guarantee of where this card is going, which can make it tricky if there's a lot of face-offs happening. You might put a card back on top hoping to flip it for a face-off or hoping to draw it, and then based on what the opponent does, it might be different. That being said, there's certainly a lot of potential with her, and she's going to allow some crazy deck building, which is going to be a lot of fun. Oh yeah, the other ability, I mean, is good, right? Getting an Anthem effect for your other friends at her location is nothing to sneeze at. All right, now we said no immediate disruption, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe you're lying.
Prove it.
Midnight Snack. 3 power, 1 cost, 2 pink and orange. Immediate. Dismiss a friend. There's some other text on here, but I think that's all that I need to say. That friend's controller adds that friend's power to another one of their friends until the end of the turn. So you don't immediately, like, totally lose it, I guess. Your confront step order starts mattering. Like, a lot.
I mean, it should have always mattered, but yeah, now it really matters. Really, really, really matters.
Very hard to use to block confronts.
Mm-hmm. You got to be real clever about the timing, real clever about what you hit and when you hit it and where you hit it. Or you can just play it on your opponent's entry friend, and then they have no friends. And then you say, haha, you have no friends. I ate them. I cooked them
Also,
up and ate them.
notice it says a friend, not an opponent's friend. You can sacrifice your own minions to boost your own power.
Hold on, let me try the most, scripted voice possible. But Ivory, why would I possibly want to put one of my own friends into my discard pile?
No reason. No reason whatsoever.
I don't know, sounds like a bad line of play to me. SMH.
I don't look to my left ever. I don't know why you would need to do that. There's lots of things you can do with these cards.
Just total deadpan. Oh, GP's internet broke.
Comcast will do
Yeah.
that to you.
Amazing.
It do.
Anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and move on to the next mid-range card, which is one of these fancy new pony dragons.
Dragon
Leaf.
with a cutie mark. Also beans.
Leaf Wing Lead. 4 cost, 2 white rec, 3 power. When this card enters play, put a 3 power colorless dragon ally friend token into play.
Wait, what? Is this a new kind of token?
This is a new kind of token.
I have to ask myself if we can see this token, and no. Well, it is not localized entirely to my kitchen. And no, you cannot
Yeah.
see it.
Just, I mean, you can use anything as a token. So
Mostly because it doesn't exist yet, but
go draw your own.
Yes, dragon and ally. Gives you fodder for Midnight Snack.
Yep. More
Or you
tokens.
could also use Midnight Snack on Leaf, boost the token, use the main's ability, get Leaf again. You're in what, 3 colors at that point? You probably can make this work.
This gets you okay efficiency, and then it makes 3 power friends, which not bad.
Yeah. Remember, this is mid-range, so we do still want to actually be confronting and playing the game semi-normally.
Despite the previous 2 cards.
Hey,
Sure.
the Izzy main does normal things. Midnight Snack does. You're adding power. It's fine. Don't worry about the method of which you're using to add power.
I mean, I'm kind of worrying about it. But yes, the Izzy wants lots of like medium-sized things to make them bigger.
You know you're gonna build this deck.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
We want to move on to the most fun generating.
Anyway, this
No,
archetype's
that's
boring too.
degenerating.
Fun.
You mean the zero sum form archetype? Okay.
I mean, we can move to that.
I think this is Hithrock's favorite slide.
I can't make out any of these cards. They're too small.
No, one of them is decently sized.
It's only decently sized because she's on like a jumbotron or something.
All right, Cheese.
To Zip.
What do we got for a main this time, Cheese?
We have Pip. She's white and says, so you flip with when a player plays a friend to this card's problem. You may turn this card over. So probably generally going to be your own friend. And then on the flip side, when an opponent discards or retires one of their friends, you may pay 1 and exhaust this card to put that friend into play here under your control. Also home limit 5.
I'm sorry, what was that about wanting to steal all the things? I think Pip does a better job of stealing things.
But it's okay. Your opponent is done with them. They don't need them anymore.
Right. All we want is your Twitch Prime subscription. Just like, follow, and subscribe. And by subscribe, I mean, come on, over here, this side of the table.
So as long as you're like not, as long as it's not like dismiss or mill, then like you can get it.
I mean, we already have several cards in these colors that will be sticking around, or in white rather, that will be sticking around that can do this.
Yeah.
Rarity and Trenderhoof comes to mind.
Oh, hey, and that's white too. How about that?
Your opponent discards a friend, and then you can play that friend until the end of the turn, or you can
banish, bounce, and frighten. Don't put things in the discard pile.
See, Pancake, I'm getting mixed messages about what Pip wants from me. Pip wants your sole undivided attention.
I think that's a good summary.
Pip wants you to like, follow, and subscribe only her.
Pip is a grifter.
A little bit.
I mean, Soul, Twitch Prime, like, they're basically the same thing. For a content creator. And Pip does everything for the content.
Including Grift.
Including Grift. There are a number of cards that I think people will be excited to see that will synergize well with Pip's strategy. some of which definitely have some multicolor support, some of which might be, well, they might be able to stay in mono white.
Maybe.
I can't wait to see Pip steal Zip after Vexing is used. We'll get there. You are assuming this thing is being retired. All right, mixed messages. Haven looks...
Unamused.
I don't know what... Unamused, yeah. 1 AT, 2 white, 2 yellow, 4 power, immediate event. Choose a character, then choose 1 power or 5 power. Until the end of the turn, that character has the chosen power and can't lose or gain power. That AJ main that you've been stacking power counters on illegally, mind you, in Adventure, that's a shame. She's small. This
I mean, it actually doesn't matter which mode you pick here. They're both pretty bad for Big Bug or AJ. Or
True.
actually,
hey, this
Thunderlane would hate this too.
Hey, what? This adorable spike baby dragon. It's now 5.
Why though?
Why are you worrying about it?
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Okay, how about this 1 prepared unicorn token? Better? Or this 1 critter token?
How about
That
the
one.
Dragon Ally token from the previous slide?
That thing was 3 power.
Now it's 5 power.
That's fair. 5 power is pretty good.
Small bug.
Small bug, yes. Big bug is now small bug.
Yeah, so
Twilight.
don't let Pip put you on blast. She'll either make your day great or make it terrible.
All right, who wants to cover Cylon Zip over there?
Not a Psylocke.
I don't believe you.
Anyway, she got into your library. 4 power, 4 cost, 3 purple wreck. Meticulous 2, persistent, vexing.
All it has is keywords and reminder text.
It's got flavor text too.
That's fair.
Yeah, they're all weirdly specific.
I mean, I like Meticulous 2 on 4-cost purple friends. I seem to recall a 4-cost purple friend that had Meticulous 2 that I greatly enjoyed for a while.
Well, this one also doesn't just unconditionally banish something when it enters play.
And that's fair. But this one can block confronts, but then you have to retire it. But what if you didn't have to retire it? What if you just had to frighten it? So we now have an effective, not unfrightenable, but a main that says, I will continue generating value until you make me deal with you. And then you're going to have to deal with me again. And again. And again. Costs can't be replaced. Vexing is not a replacement modifiers are not a cost. So, provided that you are not attempting to do something that can't be done, you can replace a replacement modifier with another replacement modifier.
You're allowed to chain replacement modifiers, so you can vex into persistent and just frighten her to get the stop a confront effect instead.
Correct. However, if there was some ability like AJ Honest as the Day is Long that said your friends can't be frightened, you still cannot do things that can't be done, or you can't replace an instance with something that can't be done, so you would not be able to say, okay, I use vexing, okay, I use persistent, okay, she's not frightened. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But you can absolutely replace the retire on vexing with persistent.
It would be really annoying, though, if you were playing Zip and your opponent was just like, go ahead. Pip's right there to grab her sister and put her back into play on the
Mhm.
other side of the table.
You could also do that with your own.
When an opponent.
Your friends will not resub.
Ouch.
But they could if they got taken.
But they could, if they got taken. This is correct. New life for Beat Poet. That must be the garble. Yes, that allows you to unfrighten your friend. Beat Poet Zip sounds great. Yeah. Keep your stuff unfrightened. Doesn't seem bad. Still get the meticulous value. And you got a big body too. Like, that is something that has become interesting to see purple control decks play, and other forms of control too, but really purple too, is being able to get a lot of value out of one of your friends, but also have that friend be like one of only two characters you need to be confronting your problem, means you can apply a lot of pressure. And since Zip automatically wants to be up at problems to be able to use vexing, you're not going to feel.
I assume that's GP's internet dying again.
On.
You're not gonna fear your internet dying because you're a Cylon apparently and have connect via 5G.
Do we want to start talking about tractors?
Yeah, I
Is
think
that what's next?
yeah. I think it's about time to start talking about tractors.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, that'll continue the Zip conversation.
Oh,
We'll
am I
continue the
back?
Zip conversation. Yes.
Am I back?
We're talking about tractors now.
I heard you don't need to worry about paying to get that up to a problem. It's kind of like the Sunset Shimmer clever calculator. It's a good value friend on a good body that you just get to score points with, and then also disrupt the opponent with. All right. Anyway, tracker. Who's doing this one?
Now, best pony bothers showing up. Alright, Zip Storm Royal Aerobat. At the start of a face-off involving this card, turn this card over. 3 home limit, Pegasus Royalty, because, of course. 4 home limit. During a face-off, exhaust this card to choose one of your flipped cards. You may play that card as though it had hasty until the end of the face-off. If you do, flip an additional card and give that flipped card +3 power.
That seems pretty spicy.
It's a good thing she says exhaust.
What, you think that was just going to be allowed to happen with every flipped card forever?
I mean, that would be tasty. I didn't say balanced.
It would be a darn shame if you flipped a riled up.
I mean, it has +3 power until it changes zones.
Correct. At which point it becomes a new card.
Yeah, it doesn't need to have a until.
Correct.
Yes.
Luna or Yuna had unnecessary clarity on the text. Zip
This is fun.
Zip is really fun.
Yeah, like
Purple Farm up until this point has basically been, I'm going to give troublemakers minus power. I'm going to generate action tokens. I'm going to play lots of events. And Zip just kind of says, I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's see what happens.
I'ma have fun.
I'm going to have fun.
I mean,
I'm going to flip. Go ahead.
You're still going to sit there and generate ludicrous amounts of action tokens because why not?
I mean, maybe.
You're gonna try.
You don't get to play the card for free. You still have to pay its cost. You even still have to meet its requirements.
That's fine.
Maybe a bit more methodical way of going about farming than probably we've been seeing lately, of like the mindless, I punch things past turn.
I mean, still gonna like to punch things.
Well, yes, but you'd rather get a good game plan in before you start the punching.
This also works
this
very
is-
well with anything that lets you flip additional cards.
So, exhaust this card to choose one of your flipped cards and play the. You can like play a troublemaker like this?
You can play a troublemaker like this. Yes, you can.
But you have to. You have to reveal it to reveal that it has hasty. I don't know how that works.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, it's already a revealed card.
No, the oh yeah, because it is.
Yes, it's public information.
I guess that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it works. So you don't technically lose any power by using Zip's ability, right? If Zip is involved in the face-off, you're exhausting a 3-power character, presumably 3 power, to be able to flip another card and give that flipped card plus 3 power and take something else out of your flip zone. If you have good information, good knowledge of your flip average, you can identify an opportunity to say, I am likely to flip a higher power card than this. This effectively just becomes card advantage.
Or playing this card gives me more power than flipping it.
Right, exactly.
Or it has an ability that you think is more valuable now than it would be than winning the face-off.
Sure. All of those
Yeah.
are great examples.
And then you
What
also
is-
have the like weird option where it's like, oh, you're messing with my main. I need that 3 power. Okay, I'm gonna exhaust her.
Sure. Works very well. What happens if Zip is not involved in the face-off, though? What if you're farming with anything else? Well, then Zip just straight up becomes power boosting. And that's pretty good.
That's why she's called an
Zip-
aerobat. She's in the sky. Like just helping, I guess.
You were right. She does synergize very well with cards that cards or strategies that let you flip extra cards, and while you can absolutely use her to farm, and she will definitely do well, you can also do some chaotic things with her, and we're just going to leave that at that. How about we go look at an angry corn?
The original art for this was called Mad Because Bad.
Sunny Star Scout. Unbridled Fury, 3 cost, 3 power, 3 wreck in blue and orange. Alicorn Earth Pony, haven't seen that since Big Mac. Stubborn, immediate, exhaust this card to challenge an opposing or epic troublemaker here with this card. If this card has at least 1 magic counter on it, challenge that troublemaker with all your characters here instead.
But GP, this card doesn't have magic restored on it.
Ah, you mean that there might be cards that synergize with the set's main mechanic that don't actually have the set's main keyword, encouraging you to, I don't know,
Have
read
other cards?
Yeah, have other cards. You are correct.
It's like friendship is valuable or something.
My Little Pony friendship is valuable.
What would you
I
like?
don't-
What would
I
you
thought
like
it
me
was
to have
friendship
in
is power.
And it's Cozy Glow.
Yeah, Cozy Glow wanted to become
Cozy's-
an alicorn.
Cozy was an alicorn. Anyway, now she's a statue.
Yeah, Pancake, you can't start a face-off inside a face-off.
No sub games.
However, you can absolutely sit there, put this card in a problem, wait for an opponent's epic troublemaker to be uncovered, and be like, I'm gonna let you finish. No, I'm not. I'm fighting.
I would
Me
like
first.
priority.
Now, by itself, challenging with just a 3-power character, you're gonna have to invest some pretty serious resources to be able to win that face-off. That being said, 1 magic counter on this, and now all your characters there are good. And if you're running a card with an effect like current Daybreakers, or you're running a card that has a lot of diligence, or you give this card diligence somehow.
Or you could just, I don't know, be running a lot of cards that like to get involved remotely.
Sunny Star Scout plus small. Oh. Okay. So this is a little weird. But check this out, okay? You run Sunny Star Scout with both of the blue-orange Smolder friends. One that says, can't be frightened, your friends here can't be frightened, and the other one that has all the, keyword text. Because this says you can challenge an opposing or an epic troublemaker, you can use this to challenge your own troublemakers, which is nice. Play an epic, and get this card up to a problem, and you can kind of set up, and you can fight during your main phase. Basically, it lets you have an extra phase of setup before you challenge the troublemaker. Kind of doing the pipsqueak working as intended thing going on. But if you do this during your troublemaker phase, during the uncover step, before the challenge step, you can fight the troublemaker, and you might lose, and then you have to send something home. But then you get to challenge it again in the challenge step. That's big brain plays. Maybe.
I can hear the judge calls already.
I will timestamp this stream and have it saved on my phone.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I can hear the judge calls already.
All right, now that I fought my own troublemaker, I'd like to fight my own troublemaker. I mean, why not just challenge it normally before exhausting her? I don't know. Because your opponent has something that triggers... you want to know why? Because you're playing in Harmony and your opponent has Pile of Presence. That's why. You can't go to your main phase.
I mean, doing things like that is what you deserve for playing in Harmony.
And yes, you could challenge it. You could challenge it normally before exhausting her. I don't know why. Because
No,
your opponent also has a Sunny Star Scout.
You do it because it's funny, not because it's correct.
Challenge it when they are at a score phase with an epic, and all of a sudden now we have a face-off after you beat it up. LOL. I like it.
All right, you weren't set up for that face-off? That's unfortunate.
I don't know how you didn't see this coming. All of the information was public. The troublemaker was right there. Angry Corn was right there.
But what if it wasn't? What if you hastied it in? Wouldn't that be annoying?
Ew, gross. All right. Now, with that being said, we're still giving Sunny an awful lot of credit here. She's only a 3-power character by herself. So let's find a way to help her win.
How about Earth Pony Army?
All right, go for it. What do we got?
How about full mobilization? 1 cost, 3 blue rec, 3 power event. Immediate. During a face-off, put any number of cards from your hand into your flip zones. But those cards' chaos triggered abilities, if any, don't trigger. Probably not going to matter, because if you really want to win that face-off, just play this and dump your hand.
You know what would be funny?
What would be funny?
If you played full mobilization, put your entire hand into your flip zone, and then did something stupid with one of those things that didn't have hasty with zip.
Ew.
Ew.
You know what would be funny? If you played full mobilization, put your entire hand into your flip zone, somehow lost the face-off for value, and then had a consolation prize to put all of those flip cards back into your hand.
Yeah.
I mean, I got nothing beyond that, but...
No, that's correct. Sprout does not actually have a canon last name. I need to go fix that.
All right. So this card kind of asks the question, what price are you willing to pay? Cards are valuable, and cards for farm are among the most valuable resources you can have. You have to, in order to get any meaningful effect out of this card, full mobilization, spend 2 cards from your hand. 1 to play this, and another 1 to put into your flip zone. That is bare minimum.
That's a lot.
However, most other face-off tricks are going to be flip an extra card, get extra power in the face-off, move 1 or 2 of your characters at immediate speed. With the exception of the moving of characters, which requires you to, have an established board, most of those other effects are not guaranteed to win you a face-off unless it's very, very close. Full mobilization, under the right circumstances, will let you precisely pick the card that you need to get rid of in order to come out ahead in the face-off. Eagle says, big brain play, put a chaos card from hand into the flip zone without triggering chaos, then flip it again next face-off with Grow Cord main. Also works. Here's a tech one. Play full mobilization, put a card from your hand into your flip zone, win the face-off. During the win step of the face-off, then activate Zipstorm to play that card from your flip zone. Yes, the Gallus window. The horse burbs have learned from the burbs.
This isn't complicated enough. You need to somehow use this to drop Sunny in and then start another face-off.
You just need to end the face-off prematurely. The cat burbs. Yes, the cat burbs.
So now I need to go look at the, precise order of rules to see if you can sit there and take a troublemaker out after a DFO is completed, but before the problems are actually replaced. I think you can. There should be a window in there.
I think you should be able to. Yeah, Farm is messing with timing. And if you watched Meticulous Talk's stream at all when they were doing their anniversary game, you may have seen even more ways that Farm might be messing with timing. Don't worry about it. We'll cover that later. Prism Light says it's a finisher, full mobilization to flash B at 15 for an instant win. I mean, sure.
Yep, set it up. I assume GP's internet died again. Comcast is, rolling high tonight.
It's pretty good about that. Maybe they should use full mobilization on their tech support people so they can fix the problem.
Yeah. Must just be windy or something. Well, that's the four maybe more well-accepted ones. Shall we, talk about the elephant in the room?
But we don't have any elephant cards. We have seen an elephant. We've had elephant cards previously, actually.
The elephant, oddly enough, is a critter. Don't ask how that works.
Why would it not be a critter?
Not so much an archetype, I guess. There's definitely an archetype that exists in here somewhere. The forbidden one. Now we've got some cards that are more like, It's a nice card. I wonder what happens if we just, I don't know, use it as the centerpiece and build around it, as the title suggests. Okay, hold on. I can't read the text on this, so I have to go get another copy of this that I can actually read.
I can read Spike. This card enters play with 3 magic counters on it. Immediate. Remove a magic counter from this card to choose one. Put a 3-power colorless dragon ally friend token into play. Send a character to a different area. Or shuffle an opposing resource or troublemaker into its owner's deck.
That last ability is kind of spicy.
Removal, go home, power. It does cost you 5 AT to play.
That's why you cheated into play somehow, right?
Yeah, I don't expect anyone to ever play this for 580.
Well, yeah, it doesn't even have any play requirements. It's great. I mean, I'm also looking at this and just going, okay, or you could just sit here and just be like, here's 5AT. I'm going to use this to maybe not permanently remove, but make it extremely hard for you to get a hold of the 3 most annoying things on the field. I don't like that resource. I don't like that troublemaker. Or just move everything home. And all this also runs at immediate speed, so it's just like, are you having fun, Zip? Good, that's a shame. The troublemaker's gone.
Are we talking about Spike?
Yes.
Are we also talking about Comcast?
Yes.
I heard the quip. I agree. I don't know what's going on.
They
Sorry.
rolled high.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Spike is interesting.
I mean,
He has
he's been around for 1,000 years at least. I'm pretty sure that you're gonna have to like wake up pretty early in the morning.
to get one over on Spike.
Yeah.
He comes with potentially 9 additional power. That's 5 colorless for 12 power split across 4 bodies. He doesn't even move stuff. He sends stuff with, his mailbox powers.
Yeah, it's great. Just bye.
Or things get lost in shipping. And package must be re-delivered.
Return to sender.
Yep. I'm just gonna say that I really like the idea of playing Spike with Dr. Hoops.
That is gross.
That seems pretty good.
They've sent home 3 of my characters, but at least they can't do any. And he's back. Five's kind of the sweet spot where it's expensive. You're going to want to try to find another way to get Spike into play. But if you just have to, you can just dump the card. It's very, very good. It has a lot of utility, and it will do what most decks would want to do. Yeah, most people who have played Reanimator or a similar type of archetype have just played Tricorn cards before. Spike is that without needing to mess around with the requirement. And he's a little smaller. He's still a baby by Dragon standards.
He looks pretty big here.
No, he's small. He's been hanging out with Pip too much. All right.
Is that how that works?
And I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
All right. Let's do some wacky stuff. Let's fundamentally break game rules, huh?
No.
Yes.
Card text overrides game rules.
Let's fundamentally override specific game rules, huh?
Yep.
With the power of anger and this mob I found. Angry mob. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Play to your home. When your friends with 1 exhaustion marker on them can become exhausted again. When you ready your first friend each turn, remove all exhaustion markers from it. That means you can exhaust things twice.
So if you were paying attention, and I think we touched on this in a previous stream, exhaustion is no longer tracked with counters. It's tracked with markers. What's the difference? Markers aren't counters.
It's a different name.
Correct.
That's it.
Turns out when you have an entire set dedicated around counters and manipulating counters and gaining counters and removing counters, and exhaustion is a counter, it is not great.
It's also handy that we ended up... see what I did there. implementing it this way because the flag-based thing wouldn't have let this card exist. Anyway, Angry Mob. What's the condition? Anger.
The condition is anger. I love it. Person Blind asked an interesting question for those of us who are Magic players who like tapping our cards to represent exhaustion. Yeah, we're probably just going to turn the card upside down. Now, why does the second line of text here exist? It exists because under the current rules, during your ready step, you remove an exhaustion marker from each of your cards. One exhaustion marker from each of your cards. You still get to choose which cards are readied first. So, as you are readying your first friend, you get to remove all exhaustion markers from it. That means that every one of your friends with this resource in play can be exhausted twice. Once.
Yeah.
And then one of your friends, each turn cycle, can be exhausted twice.
And then you will be very sad if this gets removed while all of your friends have 2 exhaustion markers on them.
You will indeed be quite sad. Donut Joe loves this card. As worded, Angry Mob's ability is a trigger, so the second ready doesn't happen until the first priority window. Yes, but given that first priority window, given that pre-priority processing happens before a player receives priority, yeah, it'll be in there. It'll process in the same timing as like Meticulous or similar effects.
Yeah, it would have to be a really weird situation to matter.
This also has the potential to do some really crazy things in decks that can exhaust their friends for value. Right? Obviously, you can exhaust your friends for aggro, or you can exhaust your friends for utility, but what if you just wanted, like, AT? What if you just wanted to exhaust a bunch of your cards to, like, gain AT? What if you were playing that stupid Celestia White deck and your Trixie has, like, 8 billion magic counters on it? Or not magic counters, spell counters.
Impossible.
And you wanted to sit there and say, if only there was a reason for me to track these. Well, I mean, this helps you get rid of 2 a turn instead of just 1 a turn. That's pretty good. Can we just play this in Adventure and run it with Factory Organizer? How do we do this?
I mean, I think what you're like trying to do here is shave a turn cycle off of firing your combo.
I mean, if your combo involves exhausting a lot of cards, a lot of friends, I don't know of a lot of combos that do that.
That is specifically a critter friend.
Now, you need to go back into Harmony and do the stupidest possible thing, which is you get a hold of the Chaos Capital. And then you turn things over. Which, incidentally, removes all the markers. Because it becomes a new card.
Come to think of it, did we ever update the comprehensive rules to say that as a card is turned face down, you remove all markers from it as well?
I have no idea.
I think that's somewhat implicit in terms of it becoming a new card, but something to check.
I think that may be the one section that still needs to be updated. We'll have to see. A second Angry Mob lets you exhaust things a third time, right? No. Angry Mob says your friends with 1 exhaustion marker on them can become exhausted again. Exactly 1.
It's a sad day when you can't exhaust something 7 times.
Correct. A second Angry Mob means if your opponent gets rid of the first one, you can still use the effect. It doesn't let you double ready a second friend because you are still choosing the order in which friends are being readied, and it is still the first friend. So, no, it does nothing but provide duplicity of the effect. Okay, but you want to talk about more combo build around, we can look at bunny corns. 2 cost, 3 rec, 2 yellow power critter. It's a critter friend. At the end of your turn, choose one of your critter friends with at least 1 magic counter on it. Then put a token copy of that friend into play. So if you put a magic counter on bunnycorns at the end of your turn, you can put a token copy of bunnycorns into play. And then at the end of your next turn, you can put 2 copies of bunnycorns into play. And then 4 copies of bunnycorns. Bunnycorns imply mad science of bunnies and unicorns. Yes, yes, indeed they do.
You've only begun to see the horrors that await. We've
Beagle
got
chooses snack with Antoine. That's not bad. I choose birds of a feather.
Doesn't that have unique?
Uh-huh. But my previous one's exhausted.
And I would like a new one.
That is true.
concern.
I will put 1 copy of Trihorn Bunyip into play at my home, and once it's frightened, I'll put a magic counter on it. Then I will continuously make copies of Trihorn Bunyip to put up to a problem. Nah, that's stupid.
That's way too much work.
Brian's pretty good. Beagle says there's only one real answer. Puckwudgie. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but that means you have to run less Puckwudgies in your deck, though, to make room for Bunnycorns.
But then you get more Puckwudgies, provided that there are also ways of getting magic counters onto those Puckwudgies. Spoilers, there are probably ways of doing that.
No, there aren't. They don't exist. 100% fake news.
I mean, we've also got snails.
Eagle Hithrock brought up a good point. Can't do the Bunyip thing because it's frightened. It has no traits.
It's not a critter.
Hmm.
Even more reason not to do it.
I mean, that didn't sound like a great line of play in the first place, but points.
I would like to put a token copy of Critter Choir into play for free every turn.
Not allowed.
At the end of my turn when it does nothing.
Although, if we want to be degenerate, we can go back into Harmony and get B-Suit out. You know what I'd really like? More than 3 Rainbow Shines.
It gives you 2 it does give you 2 critter tokens. This is true. And I wonder if a set where we have a main with the critter trait and friends with critter traits might give some good options for things to be putting into play. It's possible. Heck, I'll just do it to make an army of Bryans at home. That seems fun. Guna is a fun choice. Oh, gross. I don't like that. That's too many geese. I don't like that. Each one of these cards, though, should present plenty of deck building opportunities for people who are wanting to be a little bit creative. Sanctuary Patience? Sure. All right. I think we have done about the best we can to give a preview early on here of some of the cards that may work well in these archetypes. Anyone have any additional thoughts they want to add before we wrap things up for today?
Ponies are cute.
I'm gonna just copy Bunnycorns, the new Royal Guards. You can run them and Royal Guards. No blue or orange mains yet. They exist. You'll see them soon. Okay, I'm gonna try and get through this before Comcast kicks me off again.
Here we go.
Hold on. That'll about wrap up our discussion on this topic for today. We'd like to give a big shout out to all our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your regular support. If you aren't currently a patron and you enjoy what we do, please consider donating, as doing so enables us to continue making content like this and lets you earn some great perks as a bonus. If you have comments, questions you'd like to send our way, feel free to reach out to us through Facebook, Twitter, or email. If you're a patron, you can also chat live with us on Slack any day, anytime. Quick about sleep schedule. Finally, if you're looking to watch any of our previous videos, including tournament recordings, you can find them on our YouTube channel, link just below the stream. With all that said, thank you to each of our viewers, both here now and watching this recording later. We are, as always, commentaries, magic, and as always, great pause!
Big cheese.
Apparently
Failed.
he's dead.
Ara failed.
You did that all in one breath.
Yes, I did.
Okay, here's the thing I'm supposed to post. I'm alright, cat. And okay, now Ivory died.
No, I didn't die. I was trying to find something funny, but I can't because Ivory Starlight is not a funny pony.
Anyway,
All right.
bye.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.